When we boarded the plane, we didn't know what to expect. We had our passports, suitcases full of dreams, and a nervous heart. Studying abroad always sounded exciting in theory. New country, new culture, new people. But living it is something else entirely.
We got lost on the metro more times than we can count, but somehow each wrong stop led us to something unexpectedly beautiful. Standing in Times Square for the first time, we felt so small, yet somehow like we were part of something incredibly big.
Some days were just about walking to class, grabbing coffee and figuring out how to live in a new rhythm. But even the ordinary felt special when everything around us was new. University life abroad wasn't just about lectures, it was about finding comfort in the little routines that slowly started to feel like home. Central Park, we finally felt a bit of space. Trees instead of skyscrapers, grass under our feet instead of pavement. It reminded us there was still nature in the middle of everything, and we held on to that whenever the city felt too much. There was a calm in the air, the kind that made you forget you were in the middle of one of the busiest cities in the world.
The streets were loud, fast, and always moving, but somehow walking through them started to feel familiar. Hunters Point offers a clear, steady view of the city. No distractions, just skyline and space. It's a perfect place to hang out with your friends. During the day, the Roseville Tramway offers a sweeping view of the East River and Manhattan skyline. A short ride, but one that turns the everyday commute into something cinematic. At night, the tram feels entirely different, quieter, almost suspended in darkness, with the city lights flickering below like reflections in another world.
Brooklyn didn't try to impress. It was just what it was. Busy streets, corners, cafes, and people doing their thing. The Brooklyn Bridge was always full. Tourists with cameras, locals on bikes, friends just walking and talking. It felt more like a sharpened moment than a landmark.
The Staten Island ferry was free and always on time. On the way, you would get a clear view of the Statue of Liberty. No tour needed. Midtown moved fast. Crowds, cars, lights, all at once. It was a kind of place that kept you on your feet, whether you like it or not. You could always see or hear something new.
When it rains in New York, the whole city slows down just a little. That's when you find spots like this cafe in K-Town, warm, a bit hidden, and perfect for hanging out with friends while the streets stay wet outside.
The cathedral blended into the noise of the city, until you stepped inside and everything suddenly felt calm. Grand Central was more than a station. It was a meeting point, a shortcut, a place to just look up and be impressed, a place you often see in a movie. The public library felt like one of the few places in Midtown where time actually slowed down.
The Metropolitan Museum of Art was massive, not just in size, but in everything it held. You could spend hours wandering from ancient temples to modern art, without seeing the same thing twice. And somehow, even with the crowds, it still felt personal, like you were discovering it on your own.
Inside the World Trade Center, everything feels polished and open. High ceilings, smooth floors, and the quiet sense that this place was built to honor what stood before. At the 9/11 memorial, the noise of the city fades into silence, replaced by the sound of water and the weight of memory. The oculus looks almost unreal, all white, curves and light, like a spaceship dropped into the middle of downtown.
Bryant Park quickly became one of our favorite spots, always lively, but somehow still easy to relax.
Sometimes, it was just about finding a quiet spot, sitting down and catching up with family, even from thousands of miles away.
And when hungry, Chelsea Market had the perfect mix of food, noise and people, a little chaotic but always worth walking through.
The Highland gave us a different view of the city, raised up, surrounded by plants, but still right in the middle of it all. Walking there felt like moving through a quiet path above the noise.
Little Island is a floating park on the Hudson, built on concrete pillars that rise out of the water. It's the kind of place designed for meeting up with friends, snacking and watching the city from a quieter angle.
Even when Coney Island was technically closed, it still had its charm. When the rides are closed, you make your own entertainment, preferably with bad dance moves and zero audience. In the end, it wasn't just about the places we visited, it was about how we spent time in them. From quiet parks to crowded streets, every part of the city became part of our story. We came to study, but we learned just as much from the in-between moments, the walks, the conversations, the ordinary days. Unfolding New York wasn't just about the city, it was about how we found our place in it.